What's going on, guys? Arsenal lose at the Etihad 3-0 to Manchester City in possibly a game where there's been a lot of messed up situations due to a certain centre-back. And before we get into that, of course, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're a first-time viewer, of course. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the game itself. And yeah, let's just get into it, of course. Arsenal go to the Etihad and losing 3-0. Arteta's first game back since coming to the Etihad. Arsenal's first game back in general since the whole pandemic situation, of course. Guys, honestly, it was awful. I mean, we started off decent. I mean, we knew what City were going to do regardless of what lineup they're going to play. Like, come on, the quality of Manchester City that they have. And our lineup, let's get into it. We had Leno in goal. The back line was Bellerin on the right, Tierney on the left. In the middle, in the centre-back positions, we had Mustafi and Pablo Mari. In the midfield, we had Xhaka. We had Joe Willock. I thought the lighting went dim there, sorry. And we had Matteo Guendouzi. And the forward line was Bukayo Saka, Eddie Nketiah, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, of course, within the first minute or two, Xhaka had to come off injured. Boy, that was like a kick in the nuts, if anything. And then what made it even more harder was Pablo Mari had to come off injured as well, like another 15 minutes later. So already, it was going to be even more a back-to-the-wall performance for Arsenal, as Ceballos come on to replace Xhaka, and David Luiz, who a lot of us were actually quite surprised didn't start this game, came on for Pablo Mari. And like I said, we were doing well within the first few minutes, and suddenly it all changed. With moments before half-time, a ball crossed in for Kevin De Bruyne, the flex of a careless David Luiz. And I'm going to say careless because if you look at the man's positioning from where the ball just deflects, hits off him, and it rolls to Raheem Sterling, of all people. And the reason why I'm going to say it of all people, because if you remember in my preview, I said he had a torrid time at Old Trafford. And what I also didn't relay to you guys was the fact that Raheem Sterling hadn't even put a ball in the back of the net in 2020 for Manchester City. So, the Arsenal thing, the Arsenal do, he scores, it's 1-0 to Manchester City. It's always Arsenal, the gift that keeps on giving, I always used to get bantered off by, and it's back again, isn't it? Honestly, it just gets worse from that. Come back within the second half. And guys, I'm going to tell you a true story. I literally left the room. Edison had the ball, right? My cat wanted to go outside. I took my cat outside. Listen, what are you doing? Crazy situation. As soon as I come back, the David Luiz is on the TV. The camera zoomed in on him. I'm thinking, okay, what's happened? I see the replay. Grabbing up Riyad Mahrez in the penalty box. I'm thinking, wait, am I reliving the Chelsea Stamford Bridge situation with Tammy Abraham? You got to be kidding me. How long ago was that? Way before the outbreak of the... Do you know what I mean? Oh my God. I'm losing my marbles right now. He's gone. He's sent off. Deservedly so. You do not do that. Absolutely stupid from David Luiz. Kevin De Bruyne pops the penalty in. It's 2-0 to Manchester City. David Luiz obviously is sent into the changing room. Me personally, I hope that is the last time I've seen David Luiz in an Arsenal top. Because, of course, we all know the news and speculations that Arsenal are not really sure if they want to give David Luiz another year in an Arsenal shot, in an Arsenal top. You know, there's been rumours that Mikel Arteta wants to keep him for another year. I don't know about that, but I'm going to get into, Mikel Arteta's comments near the end of this review. Well, what's left of what to review? I mean, come on. I mean, we just got our arse handed to us. David Luiz just basically gifted them 3 points. The game was done. The game was done. And then Phil Foden pops in the third goal within 20 minutes left, maybe half an hour, because Edison made a horrific collision with his own centre-back. And I hope he has a speedy recovery. But regardless of that situation, we got battered again. And it's going to take a lot for Arsenal to even, I don't even know, to even do something. I mean, we can forget about top four, because if we're going to continue like this, there's no top four. Top five, you're kidding, right? You're kidding. All we can really do is try and recover the rest of the season, because again, the games are going to get harder, guys. We got Brighton coming up this weekend, right? We still got teams to play like Leicester, Tottenham, Wolves, Liverpool, the champions. And remember that the last couple of times we went to Anfield, what was the score? And look how miles ahead they are against Manchester City. Think about that. So, guys, honestly, if we continue like this, it's just going to get worse. It's really going to get worse, honestly. And we could definitely, boy, can we even get in the Europa League? That's another question. So our game advantage is gone. Now we've got to really pull our socks up, because it's going to get harder. We saw Aubameyang today, literally couldn't really do anything. I mean, a lot of speculation this week about whether he's going to stay or not. Aubameyang's basically said that, Arsenal look like it's in their hands. That's what he's basically saying. And Arteta is positive that Aubameyang wants to sign. He said he wants what's best for the club and Aubameyang and his family, and they're going to try and work something out, which was from what Arteta said in his press conference. So, I don't know, man. A lot of us after the game have been thinking, boy, he's probably done after this. Could you blame him, honestly, at a progressing Arsenal? Probably not. Probably not. And it's sad to say, because I love my club and I love my team, but right now, they are killing me. And it's crazy because one guy literally turned it on its head. Poor performance. David Luiz definitely let the team down. I think the only standout players today for me was Leno. Kieran Tierney, I thought he played a decent game, personally. And maybe Ceballos. Maybe. He looks alright, but he weren't great. He looks alright, but the forward line, I'd probably say Nketiah was the best person at that. Saka couldn't really do that much. Not his fault. Aubameyang, lack of service, not his fault again. But from what Nketiah, the chances he was getting, it was alright. But still, this Arsenal team literally needs to just repackage and just do something. I don't know, man, because I've had conversations with other football fans from different clubs that they support, and I've even said for Arsenal, it's crazy, and I even think I said it on this video before, that probably us being in Europe is next season, being out of Europe is probably the best thing, because listen, if we couldn't even get past Olympiacos, right, and our centre back has been causing us problems this season, as well as the defense, the whole defense, the midfield, and Aubameyang's been saving us with his goals and contributions. Then, I mean, honestly, we really just need to just have a season out of Europe and just concentrate on, if we're going to have a pre-season, and then just start again, hopefully bring people in, etc. Get rid of who we need to get rid of. But honestly, we can't really afford that, can we? We can't really afford not to have a European place. But right now, it doesn't look any good because, listen, we had, the Charlton fixture, which was decent, the friendly match. Then Brentford kind of just humbled everybody and thought, okay, all right. And then this game, I think it's humbled everybody. And I hope that all the Arsenal fans that were thinking, okay, we were going to go and give City a good game, we're going to pump them, all that rubbish. I hope they were really looking at the team now and saying to themselves. And one thing, I do not want anyone to blame Arteta because, listen, he's still learning his trade, and I'm gonna stick up for Mikel Arteta on this one because at the end of the day, he can get it wrong. Looking at the team sheet, looking at the available options for Arsenal, I mean, who could he really play? Torreira's not fit. We all don't want Ozil to play other than the Ozil fanboys. And, come on, who else? I mean, Socrates apparently had a thigh injury, so he weren't playing. And even though I didn't want him anywhere near the team, he wasn't playing. I probably would have liked to have seen Martinelli start, even though I put Saka to start in my preview and would have liked to see Martinelli come off the bench. Yeah, probably maybe I got that wrong too, but I still would have liked to see Martinelli come off the bench. That's probably it. Martinelli's probably the only thing I could say Arteta kind of got wrong today. Not putting Ababa through the middle. That's it. That is it. But ultimately, if players didn't get injured, maybe we would have saw Martinelli. Maybe we would have saw Pepe. Maybe we would have saw Lacazette. Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the game, we heard from Mikel Arteta talking about, and this is very funny, talking about the Mesut Ozil situation on why he wasn't selected in the 20-man squad and his thoughts on the whole David Luiz situation. Well, I'll start with the David Luiz situation, which kind of, I don't know how to feel about this. He says his ideas haven't changed about David Luiz. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Is that worrying, guys? Does he think Luiz can still offer us something? If he does, then that is quite concerning. Because it seems like the club want to get rid of him. Which, for once, the club actually makes sense. But they were even stupid enough to even take David Luiz. I know we were desperate for a centre-back. But David Luiz, come on, he's been so hot and cold. Even he's made us all Arsenal fans all hot and cold. And some Arsenal fans actually believed that he was going to be superb for us. I said personally, he's been decent for us. But listen, expect some crazy shit from David Luiz. Because he's so inconsistent, it's unreal. Same thing I said about Mustafi. Mustafi didn't have a bad game today, but even he got injured and he plowed through it. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I cussed him. Boy. Anyways, so I'm not sure about that. But what was interesting for Mikel Arteta? Well, the reason why I found it interesting is because I'm pretty sure we heard another Spanish manager say the same thing probably about 5 to 7 months ago. Ozil was left at home because it was for tactical reasons. Emery said that. And look what happened with that. Now, I remember I was like, let's just give Ozil a little bit of a chance at the time because we were lacking creativity, and boy, that came shoot us right in the foot, didn't us? I'll hold my hands up to that. And since then, I just said, you know what? Ozil was just done out here at the club. It's as simple as that. And it looks like Arteta might be feeling that same energy. And listen, a lot of Arsenal representatives on the board, Mikel Arteta, probably are not happy with Mesut Ozil. We know the contract. We know it's taken a huge chunk out of the club. And I'm not being funny, but David Luiz and how much a year he cost, his contract, as well as Mesut Ozil. These players cannot continue at Arsenal Football Club. If we have any hope of ambition in the next 2 to 3, maybe even 5, I'll go as far as say 5 years. Yeah, because look, every year it's going to add on another 2. And I'll tell you why it's going to add on another 2. Because of the teams around us who are getting better, the levels in the Premier League, the intensity in the Premier League. And we're just moving so slow. So slow. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, a lot of us Arsenal fans get banter off. Why? Because the way the club, the board have been operating for years. We haven't seen anything really positive. We've seen a few signings come in the door that's been positive, but predominantly, when you look out on the pitch, it hasn't been good enough at all. When was the last time we were ever near the title? Probably the Leicester season, but even then we were miles far apart. Leicester was just quality that season as well. You know what I mean? To even get back to where we were, it's going to take a long time, guys. And with guys like David Luiz, Mesut Ozil, even a Granit Xhaka, even though he unfortunately got injured and he barely got a chance to do anything correct or wrong. I mean, guys like that in the team, boy, it's just going to be even longer for Arsenal Football Club to even say we're gonna challenge for the league this season. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. I'm just got to be honest with you. So before I round up this video and end it, of course, David Luiz did come out and have a few comments. I've been seeing on Twitter that a few people, there was actually a little bit of a bust up in the change room. I'm not sure how true that is because sometimes you can't always trust Twitter. Of course, you can't always trust Twitter with all these reports and links, etc. All these stories. But apparently, there was a little bust up in the changing room and David Luiz was ordered to come out on Sky Sports to apologise for his actions. Now, listen, I said it earlier in this video. We saw this against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, right? When we had to battle back, from 10 men, and literally we ended that game in 2-2. A lot of us Arsenal fans, including myself, if you remember the video, was absolutely hyped because of the determination to get back from being goals down to come back and get and to actually get a point from after a ridiculous red card situation. And credit to, I remember I even said it then, you know, Luiz, you messed up. I blame Mustafi, but Luiz messed up too. It's as simple as that. But honestly, Luiz should have learned from that situation. There's no defending Luiz anymore. There really isn't. He come out, he tried to apologise for his, he said it wasn't the team's fault, it was his fault. He lost his head, etc. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I really do not want to hear it. A man of your stature, a man of your ability, you've won so many things as a football player. When you was playing for Chelsea, you was playing for when you had your time at PSG, and when you were playing for national team Brazil, and you make these errors. And I remember there was a column I read when he was signing for Arsenal that he wants to win trophies for Arsenal. No, you're not. I don't want you to win trophies for Arsenal because you're not going to do that for us. Okay? It's as simple as that. All we got left is the FA Cup, guys. That's all we have left. Okay? And the rest of the season to finish in a decent spot. Hopefully, we've got to rely on other fixtures as well as our own. And I already gave you the fixtures and the tough teams we still got to play. Because the teams above us now, I think the only team we got to play that are above us is probably Wolves, Tottenham, and Liverpool, and Leicester. That's 4 more games, and then the rest are below. So, is there any enthusiasm? I honestly, I don't know. But all I can say is David Luiz, for me personally, You cannot be playing. No, you can't. You can't. I remember I said the same thing about Granit Xhaka in the Crystal Palace game after that 2-2, that horrific situation. This season's just been a really, really poor season. I know it's just the first game back after the restart, but let's have it right, guys. If anything, this game has just kind of told us there's still so much work to be done. Yes, Mikel Arteta has come to Arsenal, and the games that we played under him before today have looked decent. In the Premier League, they have looked good. Some stages we were a little bit shaky, but with the team that he's got, I mean, he can only do what he can do. And it still goes for that to the end of the season. And guys, listen, we are in big trouble if this continues. It's as simple as that. But guys, that was my match review and my so-called rant, I guess. My little feelings, I guess, if you could say. Get off all the chest. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, of course. Let me know your views on the game. David Luiz, Mikel Arteta, Manchester City, for City fans, well done. You did what you did. But, I mean, let's have it right, guys. It's just absolutely appalling from Arsenal. David Luiz, oh, God. Infuriating, guys. But, yeah, hope for better days, of course. And I'll be back with you guys soon with more videos coming up on Ryan Williams.